Hello old Billy here again, and we're going to be reviewing My Hero Academia chapter 425. Last chapter we got to see Bakugo's reaction to Deku breaking the news that he doesn't have One for All anymore. He simply has the Embers. And that was quite touching because it just once again, what's the word, re-emphasizes, or I guess once again it displays how much Bakugo has grown throughout the 2 years, that the story has been, 2 years within the story, that it's been going for. And yeah, it was very, very heartwarming to see how their friendship has blossomed. We also got to, we found out that Bakugo underwent a bunch of, they all did, but underwent a bunch of surgeries to sort of get his hand to a decent enough state, but the usage of his hand, of that particular hand, is not guaranteed. So he's gonna have to go through some physical therapy and some rehab to get that back. And he also obviously didn't want a prosthetic because the core of his quirk originates from his palms, and at the time before he found out, that Deku no longer has One for All, his main thought, he's driving, what was driving him was the thought of him and Deku essentially being rivals forever, right? So yeah. And then we also got some last words from All Might about how proud he is of both of them, and also thanking his heroes, because just as he is or was their childhood hero and inspired them, it sort of came full circle where they were his heroes and they saved him, obviously, from the future, the terrible, terrible future that Night Eye saw, which we now know was obviously All for One. Night Eye didn't know that was, All for One at the time. He just saw a terrible death at the hands of a terrible monster, right? So that was really sweet. And then they also mentioned, as I've been saying and as we all know, that this fight is obviously not the end. A lot of things need to improve, need to be changed, policies need to be created to sort of ensure that issues don't bubble up in the background, that the heroes and the civilians are sort of on the same page, that communication is made better, and that they are actively resolving or seeking to resolve issues that might sort of bubble up or pile up in the background. I think that was mostly it. So without further ado, let's jump right into 425. Graduates. Principal Nezu, the mouse. His quirk, big brain. He's got that biggest brainus.
What do you mean by that?
Amajiki Senpai. My boy Sun Eater. Potatoes, they're all just potatoes. Nejuri. Yeah, so class 3A is graduating, or class 3 is graduating. And yeah, my boy Mirio. I want to see my boy Mirio. Where are you? These glorious flowers stand up. Make some noise, peeps. New third years, former second years, trying to get the gist. New second years from my first years, take it back. Oh. Yeah. It's freaking festival. My boy Mirio. He's such an important character, but he's just funny because he's a mouse. I love it. I love him as a character too. He's a real OG. Yeah, as I said, that big brainus. So he was already making plans to help in the aftermath of everything that was to come, right? Mawatafua. Yeah, so this is the book I was talking about. It also has a similar quirk to Dark Shadow, but he can move around, of course, and he can move around in shadows himself. Here to clap back. Oh, that's the Spore Girl. Drop some bars. Mirio Togata, aka Lemillion. Lemillion. Business course. Yeah, it's just the beginning, right? Preach, Lemillion, preach. Yeah. Bro, what? Oh my goodness. He was wearing his Lemillion suit under under his uniform. For some reason, like, this just reminds me of, for any One Piece fans out there, you know Ivankov. Janai, not wink. It reminds me of Ivankov so much. And then class 2A, officially 2A, you know, they're in their second year finally. Nice. Aizawa sensei. Aoyama is leaving? Why? What is he feeding him? What the heck is that? Unless I missed something. What is that? Of course, Kirishima would be saying that. A dude among dudes. Shinzo, my boy. I was wondering where he was. Yeah, so now his transfer is official. Nice. Bruh. Radaka. He dyed the tips of his hair. My boy, go ahead. What are those called? Highlights? Yeah, this guy looks so much like Kawash. He's doing worse than Kawash. Oh my goodness.
Who the f is that guy? Who the f is that?
Okay. This is a good chapter. Very wholesome, you know, season 1 vibes. Yeah, this the more peaceful, peaceful chapters. But as they said, in those moments after major wars, there's usually a period of chaos, which is typically when a new symbol arises. But I'm assuming we're definitely in the end game, obviously. But I'm assuming this new character, it seems like might be a Tartarus escapee or an asylum escapee, right? Because they're wearing the jacket, right? They're wearing the asylum jacket, it seems, and I think they might be used as sort of a final example of what this new world is gonna look like. So I think it's gonna be an example for the new students, or not the new students, but the new generation of heroes to handle in a way that perhaps the older generation would not have handled in such a way. So I think that's what we're about to. It's like the final arc example, kind of. And yeah, we see Endeavor, and I assume that's Dabby as well, in critical condition, probably in Tartarus or whatever the new Tartarus building is, right? But yeah, this is a really good chapter. I'm glad all of them are doing well for the most part. I'm glad that the third years have been able to graduate and that everyone has been able to move up, because they're in limbo obviously during the chaos ensuing after the war, or before the war rather. Well, after All Might's retirement or semi-retirement, and then before the main war in Jakku. So yeah, this was good. I'm glad to see Uraraka as well. We hadn't gotten to see her. Well, we saw her in the hospital last chapter, but we hadn't gotten any words from her. And yeah, my boy Shinzo is officially a part of this class. He had to get his provisional license last time, but yeah, he learned everything he could from Aizawa regarding using the restraining tape, and also how to use his quirk, how to maximize the use of his quirk. So, and he was very useful in that last battle, of course, with controlling Gigantomachia. So this is really good, and also sad that Aoyama is gonna have to drop out. Just his convictions, right? He doesn't feel it would be fair for him to graduate in the same way that these guys will be graduating, since he initially joined the school on account of All for One's schemes. So that's honorable of him, but we're hoping to see him in Hero Society as soon as possible. So Gambari. And my boy Mirio. Le Million. Yeah, I'm glad he's also okay. And Amajiki Senpai and Nejire as well. Well, officially caught up, I think. Yeah, I will see y'all in the next chapter. Peace out.